What's good, y'all? Welcome to the first edition of DJ's Locker Room, where we talk all things NBA and WNBA. First, let's talk about everything that's been going around in the NBA. The Boston Celtics matched up in Game 5 versus the Cavs, and they closed out the series 4-1. That was to be expected. Jason Tatum had 25 points, 10 boards, 9 assists, and 4 steals. Everyone's been chirping about how less dominant he's been in the playoffs compared to the regular season. Now, I don't think that's a knock to him. I just think that shows how dominant his team is. When you don't have to be the best player every single night, you can let somebody else kind of take that stress off of you, and you can affect the game in other ways, like rebounding, playing defense, sharing the ball. And that seems to be what he's done in this playoff series. I do think there will come a time where he has to show up, and he'll do that. The rest of Porzingis, the fact that everyone else is going to Game 7s and the Celtics are at home resting up, it's just going to benefit them. It's going to benefit him. There will be a Game 7 with the New York Knicks versus the Indiana Pacers. I jotted down a few pros of playing each team. Playing the Knicks next round, it's literally rest versus tired minutes. The Knicks starters play a lot. Very few subs. Maybe Alex Burks would be the only one playing maybe 20 minutes off the bench. Other than that, Tibbs is playing his starters nonstop. I believe the Knicks also have a smaller lineup. Yes, they have Hartenstein at the 5, but is he really a match for Al Horford stretching to the three-point line? And Porzingis, whenever he comes back? I doubt it. The pros to playing the Pacers is obviously their lack of defense. They're more of a running gun offense. That's what they do. As you could tell in this Knicks series, they're not stopping anyone. They're kind of just trying to outlast and outscore the entire game. And the inconsistency of Halliburton. He's had those games where he's been non-existent, but he's also had those games where he's made spectacular plays and has won his team the game. I think going up against a Drew Holiday and a Derek White is going to be tough for him to sustain over a 7-game series, but it'll be good basketball to see. The next topic is going to be Bronny James and his NBA or college decision. Bronny James, as we all know, son of LeBron James, he has a decision to make. He entered his name into the draft while keeping his college eligibility open, which means if he goes through this combine process and doesn't get the right feedback that he wants to hear, he can always go back to college and develop there some more. Personally, I don't think he's doing that. I think he's going to stay in the draft. I think he's going to get drafted. This is kind of I don't want to say a weak draft, but this is definitely the time that I believe he can capitalize on. The NBA is definitely a development league. Everyone is saying, oh, he's not ready, he's not ready. I think there's been countless players that have come through the league that have definitely taken time. The 76ers literally told their fans it's going to be a process when they drafted Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Nerlens Noel. They literally said, hey, it's going to take time for us to figure this out, but we're going to figure this out. Lo and behold, with a couple trades, Joel Embiid did figure it out. I mean, he's been an all-star. He's MVP. Do I think Bronny will be on that level? Probably not, but anything's possible. Next, let's discuss what happened during the Dallas Mavericks Game 5 versus Oklahoma City. Dallas won 104-92. Luka had a 30-point triple-double within 41 minutes. Luka's going to do that. There's nothing you can do to stop it. Every time I watch him play, I just say he's not the fastest, he's not the most athletic, not the quickest, doesn't jump the highest. He knows how to outsmart his opponent. It's really giving Larry Bird-like. Not saying he's as great, but I do see similarities in terms of athletic ability and just knowledge of the game. One thing that Luka did during Game 5 that really brought joy to my heart was the fact that he didn't complain to the refs as much. Every play, it just seems like Luka's wanting somebody to review it or challenge the play, or he's always got something smart to say. Just go out and play. Control what you can control. He cut that out in Game 5. Obviously, you saw what the outcome was. Continue on that path, Luka. Now, on Oklahoma City side, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 30 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. That's very consistent to what he'll give you pretty much every night. He averaged 30 this year. I personally think he should have gotten the MVP. No one expected this team to be where they were. Props to Jokic. I just think SGA should have got it. Chet Holmgren, redshirt rookie, coming off of last year's injury. He had 13 points and 4 rebounds. Your team needs more. 4 rebounds is not going to cut it. It's not in the NBA, not when you're over 7 feet tall. You need more rebounds. I understand that his game is definitely more of a stretch, so he spends a lot of time on the three-point line. That's perfectly fine. But when that shot goes up, you've got to crash the board, find a body, and literally just play the fundamentals. You've got to get more rebounds for your team. Because in this game, they got out-rebounded by 13. Luka himself had 10 rebounds. PJ Washington, 10 rebounds. Daniel Gafford, 7 boards. Lively, off the bench, 10 rebounds. Looking at the stats from each game in this series, it just seems like if you win the rebound battle, you'll probably win the game. Now, to probably the most exciting, I'm not going to say exciting, because they're all pretty good. One of the most competitive series, most even matched every single game, is the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. These guys are battling. It's great basketball to watch if you're just a true competitor of the game. So the Timberwolves won Game 6 in a blowout fashion, 115-70. Not really what you would expect in a playoff game, especially against the Denver Nuggets, who literally play a complete game. They've been down in all the games against the Lakers in the last series, and they still came back to win all those. This was very unorthodox to see from the Nuggets. Anthony Edwards, 27 points. Jaden McDaniels, 21 points. Rudy Gobert, 14 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns, he had 13 rebounds. Naz Reid, off the bench, reigning 6th man of the year, had 10 points and 11 rebounds. It was a great team effort from them. They all played phenomenal defense, and they came out with energy from the jump. That's what you like to see from a young team. It's what you need in this playoffs to beat the reigning champions. Jokic had 22 points, 9 rebounds. Jamal Murray struggled. He had 10 points, 5 assists, and he only shot 4 for 18 from the field. The Indiana Pacers forced a Game 7 versus the Knicks by winning Game 6, 116-103. This was a strong team effort by the Pacers with 6 players in double-digit scoring. It's kind of all you got. I mean, they all played well. I believe the Knicks are starting to show fatigue. They played a lot of minutes in the regular season, 40 a game for Jalen Brunson, 40 a game for Josh Hart, who never seems to really get tired. But I think they're starting to show it. Everyone has their cap. I don't think they're used to going this deep and this far into the playoffs. And not everyone's body is conditioned for that. There may be a handful of players, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, all those guys, their bodies are conditioned to play until May. Everyone else, their body cuts off in March. Josh Hart has sustained an abdominal injury. If you know anything about those, hurts to breathe, hurts to cough, hurts to sneeze. Probably going to be doing all that during the game. Brunson had a terrible first half. He cleaned it up in second half and finished with 31 points. With him only scoring, I believe it was 5 in the first half. Kind of dug your team into a deep hole. You guys were not able to get yourselves out of that. McBride had 20 points and DiVincenzo had 17. The worry about the Knicks is their lack of depth. They're playing heavy minutes on their starters. I think Alex Burks might be the only player coming off the bench that's playing 20 minutes or more. It's going to be a battle for Game 7, but I think the Pacers will come out on top. I just don't think the Knicks have enough in the gas tank to sustain another 48-minute game. The Dallas Mavericks advanced to the Western Conference Finals, defeating Oklahoma City 116-117, 4-2 series. Luka finished the game with 29 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Kyrie had 22 points. Derrick Jones Jr., 22 points. Derek Lively, 12 points, 15 rebounds off the bench. It was a great team effort. It just seemed like a game of cat and mouse. Every time the Mavericks were get it to about 5, then OKC would go on a run, get it back to 9 or 10. They were constantly playing catch up the entire fourth quarter, it seemed like. But Luka's gonna Luka. Kyrie's been in the situation before. This is nothing new to these guys, as it is for OKC. They've never been in this situation before. A lot of these guys are 22, 23 years old. It's okay because, like we just mentioned, they're young. They'll be back. It's going to be fun to watch them grow and what pieces they'll add. They've got a lot of draft picks. They can draft well, or they can trade those picks away and get a veteran piece in. They tried it with Gordon Hayward. He didn't play too much, but that's still a veteran piece in the locker room that is valuable to hear, valuable to have, that every young squad needs to have. Some stats for OKC from Game 6. SGA had 36 points and 8 rebounds. I called my dad before and said SGA kind of caps out around 35 points. He had 36. I'm not saying he's a bad player because I think he should have won the MVP. When you look at all the numbers and all the stats, he hasn't had too many 40-point games this year. Jalen Williams had 22 points, 8 assists, 9 rebounds. He was doing everything out there. That's what we expect. He's kind of their second best player. Definitely their second most consistent player. As mentioned before, OKC was out-rebounded 31-47. 31-47. Chet had 3 rebounds. You're over 7 feet tall. We need more. Your team needs more. The city needs more. Now, as soon as, a team goes home, they talk about next season, what they're going to do. The question came up was OKC's season a success? Of course it was. No one expected them to be the number 1 seed. It was a battle for number 1 between the Thunder, the Nuggets, and the Timberwolves. While in the East, the Boston Celtics had the first place locked up for probably a month. They play well together. They're very young. They're just going to keep growing. They're going to keep getting better. They're going to keep developing their game. Like I said, they've got a lot of draft picks. I think they can go after a Klay Thompson, someone who's a consistent shooter, a proven vet in the playoffs. And I think Klay needs a new start. I think he needs a fresh start. I think his days in Golden State are kind of up. And they've got a lot of decisions to make in the offseason as well, but we'll get to that some other time. Will the success be the same next year? They will be good. They will be competitive. Will they be number 1? Can't really say yes. Ja Morant's going to be back in Memphis. That team kind of had a wash season when he went down and with all the suspensions. I think they'll definitely be in the playoffs again. But if the Warriors handle business in the offseason, they'll be back and it won't be a play-in spot. Houston, they're putting their team together. They'll be back and it probably won't be a play-in spot. So the West is only going to continue to get tougher. It's only going to continue to get stronger. And boy, will that be fun to watch. That's all for the NBA news. Let's talk about the WNBA. This week was the opening week for the WNBA season. Whole lot of hype coming in. Sold out season tickets, sold out crowds. The hype around this new generation of players is unmatched, something I've never seen before. So let's get into it. Caitlin Clark had her first game. She had 20 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, and 10 turnovers. I'm sure everybody watched the game to either see her succeed or see the downfall. I just like watching good basketball. There were some things that she did well. There were some things that obviously you could tell that there's going to be an adjustment period. But which rookie hasn't gone through that on any level for any sport? High school players go through it when they get to college. That's kind of why they have a redshirt year. There's a lot of adjustments that need to be made. There's a lot of things you have to get used to. The speed of the game, the physicality of the game, the mentality, like you're playing against grown women. You're not playing against college kids that, just got out of calculus and now have to go to practice and play a game. Not the same. Not the same. The reigning rookie of the year, Aaliyah Boston, only took 6 shots. It's game 1. I'm not sitting here saying, oh my gosh, this is terrible. This is bad. Like, let's figure this out. Let's do something different. It's the first game of the season. There's going to be ebbs and flows. There's going to be ups and downs, especially when you've got a young core talent like the Fever have. They have to figure out how to play with each other. They figured out how to play against each other in college. Now you're here in the W, trying to figure it out together. I do believe once it clicks, they're going to be a dangerous 1-2 combo. The reigning finals MVP, A'ja Wilson, had a monster stat line in her first game back. She had 30 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks. In one of the interviews during the game, she expressed that she was unhappy with the team's performance and they needed to step it up and just get it going. I mean, they've been playing with each other for, I believe, 3 years now. They know what to expect from each other. She just said, we got to play better and we got to be better because they're trying to do something that's never been done before, and that's three-peat in the WNBA. They definitely have the talent to do it. It's going to be a fun season for them. Diana Taurasi is still going strong in her 19th season. Her first game back, she had 23 points, shooting a crazy 7 for 11 from 3. I think the Mercury have a good future. Not really worried about them, especially when Brittany Griner comes back. I think that's just going to add a lot more depth to them and defense. No one's testing her. No one's trying to, do up and under. She's just going to block that too, so it'll be fun. Other great rookie performances in their first games. Angel Reese, she had 12 points, 8 rebounds, 1 steal. She had 5 fouls, but once again, these are all adjustments that have to be made. I'm very fine with how they're developing her, and I think she's only going to gain more confidence as she goes through the season. I don't think it's going to take long at all for any of these rookies to adjust and get things going and really making an impact on their team. Cameron Brink for the LA Sparks, she had 11 points, 2 rebounds, 4 steals, and just played 20 minutes. Rakia Jackson also on the LA Sparks. She had 7 points, 3 rebounds, and a steal. But yeah, this is a great rookie class. I'm not worried about any of them. They're going to be pros. They're going to be all-stars. They're going to be in this league for a long time. They're going to continue to make an impact for decades. The New York Liberty came into town against the Fever for their home opener and completely demolished them 102-66. Caitlin Clark struggled. It's fine. You're playing against literally a team that was in the finals a year ago. They know how to play. These are all vets on this team. Caitlin Clark finished with 9 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds. Brianna Stewart went crazy for 31 points and 10 rebounds. It's okay. Embrace the process. This is not going to be a fast uphill thing where, by game 6, you're going to have it all figured out. Every team's going to guard you differently. Every team's going to try to put more than one body on you. Caitlin Clark, you just got to keep your head up and continue to play. Continue to battle like you have been. You'll be fine. The Connecticut Sun defeated the Washington Mystics 84-77. Dejanay Carrington had a great performance. She had 21 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. I think her biggest impact isn't even on the stat sheet, really. It's help defense. It's always being in the right spot at the right time, cutting off drive-by layups just by simply being in those lanes. Now, she can't score the ball. She's come up with some very clutch buckets in this game. Timely buckets. But just defensively, I think she's one of the best in the league. Alyssa Thomas had 13 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. It's clear that the offense runs through her. She's the 2016 Draymond Green of this team. If she's successful at all phases, scoring, rebounding, passing, and don't forget she plays great defense too, then her team is going to be successful. Carly Samuelson had 18 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. The Sun, as a team, had 14 steals. The Sun also remind me of the Denver Nuggets. They never get too high or too low. They just play a complete game. They play every possession hard. They play every possession to its entirety. Very rarely do you see someone take a play off or be in the wrong lane or be in the wrong position for help defense. I saw very few mistakes in this game. Expect to continue to see that going forward. The Lynx outlasted the Storm in a double overtime thriller, 102-93. Nafisa Collier had 29 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 6 steals. Jewel Lloyd, she fouled out in overtime. Still had 20 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds. Nneka Ogwumike, she twisted her ankle in double overtime, which was a killer. But she finished with 24 points, 11 rebounds. Both teams had a crazy number of steals. Now it also means a crazy number of turnovers. Lynx had 18 steals and the Storm had 20. Skylar Diggins-Smith, in her return back after taking last year off after having a baby, she looked great. Definitely shaking off the rust, but she's a pro. She's going to be fine. She had a rough night shooting. She shot 8 for 22, finished the game with 22 points, 5 assists, and 3 steals. They've got new pieces. They need to gel together, and they will gel together. No need to worry about them. The Liberty beat the Fever again. The New York Liberty played the Fever, won that game, 91-80. Caitlin Clark played much better after her previous game. 22 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Brianna Stewart, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, 3 blocks. Jonquel Jones, 14 points, 12 rebounds. Dominant figure in the post. Good luck getting a lot of stuff on her. The Liberty looked strong early. They look like they really are on their revenge tour to get back to the finals and get some revenge back on the Aces and whoever gets there. I think they have the pieces to compete for a championship. Their journey to get there, we're just going to have to watch and see. But I definitely believe they have what it takes to win a ring. Clark's adjustment, I mean, she's not playing bad basketball. It just looks bad on the stats. She with all the turnovers and of course there's clips of her, vets outplaying her. But they're vets. They've been doing this for years. This is literally game 3. And you have to realize that she just played college basketball, went all the way to the Final Four. She hasn't really had much time off. Went to the championship, got drafted, training camp the next week. Now we're playing in the season. We are seeing improvements with each game. We're seeing the game kind of make sense to her. I believe her teammates have her support. I believe the coaching staff are doing what they can to develop her into the WNBA star that she needs to be. And I believe that by the All-Star break, I think we'll see Caitlin Clark at its finest. The Aces played the Sparks, won that game, 89-82. Jackie Young had 22 points, 11 assists, and 6 rebounds. Asia Wilson had 22 points, 10 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Rookie Kate Martin, it's always great seeing her on the court. She plays with so much joy and just freedom. It just seems like it's so easy for her and natural to be out on that floor. She had 3 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block that got the crowd going. Kelsey Plum loved it. It was crazy. The LA Sparks, despite the loss, they had some great things come out of this game. De'Erica Hamby, she had 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 steals. Cameron Brink, she struggled offensively, but she finished the game with 3 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Lexi Brown, who wasn't even on a roster last year, 16 points, 3 steals. I love watching her on Gil's Arena. She's got great insight and great takes. Seeing her play basketball again is great for the W. It's great for her. I'm just happy for her. Rookie Rakia Jackson, she had 13 points off the bench. It's a great sign. There's no panic button for this team. They have young pieces, new pieces, just like other teams. They're going to have to keep the core together, and they're going to have to just make it work, learn each other, be okay with the ups and downs of this process. There's going to be good times. There's going to be terrible times. The Chicago Sky got their first win of the season against the Dallas Wings, 83-74. 6 players from the Sky were in double-digit scoring. Marina Mabry and Elizabeth Williams each had 5 steals. Crazy defense that was being played. Arike Agubawale had 35 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. They were also outscored by the Sky for points in the paint, 46-24. The Wings definitely crumbled in the fourth quarter, being outscored 28-11. It's never a good look. The Wings are looking for Satu Sabally to come back sooner than later. I'm aware that she'll probably miss half the season with her injury recovery. We'll see what they can do and who can hold down the fort until she comes back in uniform. And then the Mercury beat the Dream last night. And then the Mercury defeated the Dream. And the Phoenix Mercury outlast the Atlanta Dream 88-85. This game came down to the wire. Kalia Cooper, she had 38 points, 6 rebounds. Great showing. Sophie Cunningham had an all-around game. Only playing 25 minutes, she had 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 steals. Despite the Dream not winning the game, they still had some great stats too. Ryan Howard dropped 21 points, 9 rebounds. Alicia Gray, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. The Dream had to finish this game. They had every opportunity in the world to do so. But I think the Mercury definitely showed their veteran skill set. They showed that they've been in these situations and that they were able to calm the storm. The Dream had a 7-point lead with 3 minutes left in this game. But the Mercury finished on a 9-2 run to close everything out. If you're not tuned in to the WNBA right now, please watch these games. They're on national TV, NBA TV, Ion. It's good basketball. And if you're a real hooper and a real basketball lover like you say you are, it doesn't matter who's in uniform. Hoops are hoops. Good basketball is good basketball. Tune in because you're missing out on great stuff. Let's talk about my fantasy team. I love fantasy basketball. I love fantasy football. Putting a team together and being a GM it's fun. It's just something to do. My team name is the Manhattan Menaces. I just joined a random league that I found on the ESPN fantasy app. I don't know any of these guys, but we'll see what happens. I'm always here to win. I don't care who we're playing against. I just want to win. My team consists of, and this is in order of which I drafted. Asia Wilson from the Las Vegas Aces. Natasha Howard from the Dallas Wings. Jackie Young from the Las Vegas Aces. Jonquel Jones, New York Liberty. Alicia Gray, Atlanta Dream. Nalissa Smith, Indiana Fever. Kayla McBride, Minnesota Lynx. Lexi Brown, LA Sparks. And Isabel Harrison from the Chicago Sky. Harrison, she's been out with a knee injury, so she hasn't played at all yet this season. But I think that she'll come back pretty soon. It's kind of a day-to-day injury. And unfortunately, Natasha Howard has broken her foot in the last game. So she'll be out for about 3 to 4 weeks. Still don't know who I'm going to pick up to replace her yet, but I'll keep you guys in the loop and I'll let you know. But my top performance so far have been Jonquel Jones. She's given me 110 points total. Of course, Asia Wilson, she's given me 100 points total in her play. And Jackie Young, 95 points total. I think I have a solid squad to win a championship this year. I'm not saying I'm going to go undefeated. I'll try. I'll definitely, use the waivers and free agency to make moves when I need to. But I think this is a solid squad to stay with the entire year. The last thing I would like to discuss are preseason awards for the WNBA and postseason awards for the NBA. Let's start off with the WNBA. I believe the MVP this year is going to be Asia Wilson. I don't see anyone making a bigger impact on her team on both ends, offensively and defensively. People do not want to try her in the paint when they're coming down the lane. People also probably don't want to guard her either. She's got every skill set possible. MVP, Asia Wilson. Defensive Player of the Year, Dejanay Carrington from the Connecticut Sun. First game, we saw the type of defense that she put on Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is probably one of the best offensive players already in the league. I don't care if you want to say it's only 3 games in. Offense is offense. Scoring the ball is scoring the ball regardless on what level it's in. She's going to adjust to make it easier for herself. And when she does that, scoring is only going to increase. Dejanay played great defense against Caitlin Clark. She's played great defense against every guard that she's had to step in front of this season. I believe that will continue for the length of the season. Rookie of the Year, super easy, Caitlin Clark. Given she stays injury-free, healthy, I don't see how she doesn't win it. She's going to have the biggest impact. I do think if you're going to go by winning, then this pick might have to change. I don't see the Indiana Fever winning a ton of games this year. Do I see them getting better? Of course. Do I see them looking well and gelling? Yes. But for right now, Caitlin Clark's my pick for Rookie of the Year. 6th player, running back again, Alicia Clark. Right now, she's in the starting lineup. As soon as Chelsea Gray comes back, she'll be in her normal spot, first off the bench, making an impact. Same thing she's doing now. Most improved, I think it's going to be Haley Jones from the Atlanta Dream. Last year, it was a learning experience. There was a lot to take in. With the addition of Ryan Howard, she kind of had to figure out where her role would be on this team. And I think she's going to figure it out. I think she's had some very good outings so far this season. I don't know. I just think stat-wise, she'll have the most improvements among the league. Coach of the Year is going to be easy. I got Becky Hammon. The Las Vegas Aces got to be the most dominant team that I've seen in the W. New York Liberty looked great. They're still the same. But you can't deny Asia Wilson. You can't deny Kelsey Gray when she comes back. You can't deny Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young. They're just too stacked at the guard position. And then adding Kate Martin, who, like Caitlin Clark, is going to figure it out. She's going to find out where her niche is on this team. And she's a proven winner. I can see her role definitely growing from now to the end of the season. It's going to be fun to watch. That's all for my postseason WNBA awarded predictions. Now, lastly, let's talk about the NBA. All the awards have been given out, I believe, except for the All-NBA teams. So today, we're just going to talk about the All-NBA team. First team, I got Luka, Giannis, SGA, Jokic, and Jalen Brunson. Now, these are positionless at this point, so it doesn't even really matter who gets what. You can have all guards if that's what it is. All-NBA second team, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Tyrese Maxey, Anthony Edwards, LeBron James. Third team, I got Steph, De'Aaron Fox, Devin Booker, Anthony Davis, and Damian Lillard. This is a really tough list to put together considering all the great talent that's been in the league this year. And with the new rule of playing, I believe it's 65 games in order to be eligible for these awards. But hey, basketball is basketball. What I saw is what I saw. What I liked is what I liked. You don't have to agree with my list. I don't expect you to. But these are the top 15 players in the league from my perspective. and based on my criteria. Well, I appreciate everyone joining me today on the first episode of DJ's Locker Room. I was a little bit nervous doing this first episode, but I think it's going to be fun. I enjoy talking about sports. There's so much for me to talk about. Please share, comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, let's just have a discussion about sports. If there's any topics that you want me to go further in depth on, because I know I talked about so much, but there's so much going on right now. But if there are other topics that you want me to go in depth on, leave a comment, email me, and yeah, we'll go from there. So thanks for watching. DJ out.